Today, I would like to share with you some fun facts about the everyday life in the royal court of Versailles back then when we had our kings. And that was, remember, Louis XIV, Louis XV, and Louis XVI. We know them as Louis XIV, Louis XV, Louis XVI. I happened to meet recently Laurent, who is passionate about the everyday life in Versailles. And she gave me fun facts about everyday life in Versailles, and I'm going to share them with you today. So let's dive in, shall we? For instance, you might want to know more about the love life in Versailles. Laura would explain you that the patches, the little black spot that you had on your face, would give some information about what you're looking for. So for instance, if you were looking for an instant crush, you would place it near the eye. And these special patches have a name according to where they are placed. So the one you put under the lip would be la coquette. As a modern woman and with lots of humor, Laurent created some dating app profile for Marie Lesenska as Louis XV's wife. She would say, "I am tired of having my name spelled out. I had 10 kids." Yes, she did. Now, what about the language of the fan? The fan was a very used item, very practical, especially to protect you from the breath of the other person, because breath was a big topic at that time. They had not any toothpaste, they had not toothbrush. As a matter of fact, breaths were terrible. Most importantly, to say no, you would twirl your fan with your right hand. No is a complete answer. If you were to ask somebody's opinion, you would place the fan in front of your face with the left hand. When we were kids, we played with fan a lot and we did them with just plain paper. It's very easy to do, very practical. If you close your fan by touching the red eye, it means, "When can I see you?" Thanks to Laurent, I could give you these fun facts at the Versailles court. The Royal Court of Versailles, The Survival Guide, is a book that Laurent wrote by herself. At the court, people would hand kiss. Let me share with you some rules. First rule, it's only man to woman, not woman to woman or man to man. Second, you would not talk during the hand kiss. Third, you would not hand kiss somebody with a hat. Fourth, you would not kiss on a winter glove, but you would kiss on a satin glove. And gentlemen will only hand kiss if the lady is willing to present her hand. Each room had its own purpose. For instance, you would take coffee or melted chocolate in the abundance lounge. You would enjoy lemon, orange, fruit paste or snacks in the Venus room. And here is Laurent answering an interview as if she were Louis XIV, Louis XIV. Let's hear what she can say.
L'odeur, parce qu'à mon avis, il devait puer. Il avait une tellement mauvaise haleine qu'on était obligé d'utiliser un éventail pour lui parler.
Si tu étais une planète, tu serais
Mars, le dieu de la guerre, parce qu'il a passé sa vie à faire la guerre.
Si tu étais un paysage.
Un marécage, parce que Versailles s'est construit sur un marécage.
Si tu étais une pièce de la maison.
Une salle de bal. Comment ça? Tout le monde n'a pas une salle de bal chez soi? Si j'étais un objet, je serais des chaussures le boutin avec des talons rouges, parce que Louis XIV avait souvent des talons rouges. Et pourquoi? L'histoire raconte que c'est son frère Philippe d'Orléans qui adorait faire la fête, qui un jour a fait la fête dans une boucherie près des Halles à Châtelet. Et il n'a pas eu le temps d'aller se changer avant d'aller en réunion avec Louis XIV, et donc il est arrivé avec des talons rouges couleur sang. Et c'est comme ça que c'est devenu une mode de porter des talons rouges.
Si tu étais un véhicule.
Un carrosse, bien sûr.
Et un style de musique.
Du hard rock. Je suis sûre que Louis XIV, avec sa perruque, il adorait faire comme ça.
Si tu étais un plat.
Petit pois carotte. Il adorait les petits pois.
Si tu étais un fruit.
Ah, l'orange, bien sûr. Louis XIV adorait les agrumes. Et d'ailleurs, il avait construit l'orangerie dans le côté sud de son château pour que ces oranges puissent prendre le soleil et en avoir toute l'année.
Bon, maintenant, on va être un petit peu plus perso. Si tu étais un chiffre ou un nombre.
14. Hashtag roi, hashtag Versailles, hashtag j'aime l'histoire, hashtag égocentrique. Si j'étais une mauvaise habitude, je serais stalker les gens. Stalker les gens, ça veut dire les espionner sur les réseaux sociaux pour savoir ce qu'ils pensent et ce qu'ils disent de toi. Parce que Louis XIV, il avait des espions partout. Et donc je pense que la version moderne de Louis XIV, ce serait de prendre son petit Instagram là et d'aller espionner tout le monde.
Si tu étais une qualité.
Lumineux. Comme le roi soleil. C'est une émotion, je dirais la peur. Parce que Louis XIV, tout ce qu'il avait construit au début, c'est parce qu'il avait peur de la fronde et peur qu'on lui vole son trône.
Philippe d'Orléans, King Louis XIV's brother, used to dress like a woman. As a matter of fact, he was raised so that he wouldn't combat his brother and we wouldn't have inside wars destroying the line of the family. As a fun fact, we can mention that Philippe d'Orléans once invented the red heels fashion. By accident, after a party, he walked into the butcher's office and so he tainted his shoes with blood. He didn't change before arriving at the court, so this new trend was launched. Let's talk about Madame de Pompadour. Madame de Pompadour was one of Louis XV's lovers. We could say she was the first Minister of Culture, as she introduced so many artists to Louis XV and she made Versailles as beautiful as she could. You can also learn a lot about everyday life in the royal court in Versailles by visiting les appartements privés de Marie-Antoinette in the Versailles Castle. And it's very interesting. You are back in time in 1784, which is 5 years before the French Revolution. And it will show you what the everyday life of Marie-Antoinette was. And she was very well known for being, for spending a lot of money. You will discover her addictions, how she invented fashion. Marie-Antoinette had 3 addictions: home decor, fashion, and gambling. So much so that her husband, King Louis XVI, had to forbid games with money at the royal court in Versailles. If Marie-Antoinette's marriage brought political stability to France in Europe, her lavish lifestyle drew much criticism. At that time, France was in an economic difficulty. To give you an example, Marie-Antoinette had fabrics removed from the wall and she got installed wooden panels instead. That was a huge expenditure. If it were today, it would have cost around 2 million euros. Marie-Antoinette was a musician. She played harp. She also enjoyed a lot playing her own plays in her small theater, which is worth the visit also. Even if it's a guided tour inside this small theater, it's worth having a look at it. Marie-Antoinette had a very pretty boudoir. She used to read a lot. She had a beautiful library. Since billiards were reserved to men, she had her own billiard in her small apartment. At that time, bathing had for long been avoided because it was said to bring bad illness. It was slowly coming back in everyday life. Especially, it was Jean-Jacques Rousseau, a French writer, who advocated for taking baths and for giving children baths. Unlike other queens at that time who relegated the care and the education of their kids to the staff, Marie-Antoinette maybe invented the French parenting as she did took care herself of her kids. And that's why we owe her le hameau de la Reine, because she wanted to have a small farm. Marie-Antoinette is very known for organizing the cultural life at Versailles, and especially the festive life. Feasts were outstanding. That's why Marie-Antoinette was called Mrs. Deficit, because she was known for her exaggerated spending. Louis XV was passionate about cartography and astrology. We owe him this big clock. And Louis XVI was passionate about locksmithing and watchmaking. At first, La Galerie des Glaces was open in fresh air, but as the king and the queen were crossing it, it was a little bit hard when the weather was not so good. So he decided, Louis XIV decided to cover it, and it became La Galerie des Glaces. He brought from Italy mirrors And at that time, mirrors were really expensive. It was a way to show his power and his wealth, and it was very impressive back then. So this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive in everyday life in Versailles with fun facts given by Laurent. And until next time, see you!